Good morning, Central Baptist Church family. I apologize if I sound nasally today. After working at the fireworks stand yesterday, I am literally dying right here in my face. That place always messes with my allergies, and yesterday we were literally taking shelving apart and moving things that haven't been moved in like a decade, and so some old dust was stirred up for sure, and I'm feeling it today. So, and then I'm gonna mow in a little bit, so I will officially be dead later, no doubt, with my allergies, so thank goodness. But it's a beautiful day, and I'm happy to be with you all in your homes, in your cars, wherever you are watching this video, because we're in 1 Peter chapter 3, and we're going to learn a very important lesson for young and old alike. Now, this is going to be a specific lesson about marriage, so maybe you won't feel like it applies to you specifically, but there's still some valuable truths to be learned. And young people especially, pay attention, because these are lessons you need to learn as you move into adulthood. 1 Peter chapter 3 says, "Likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands." And let's skip down to verse 6. I really like this verse. It says, "Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord." So I think the lesson that we need to take home today is that God expects women to call their husbands Lord and to serve him as if he is their master. And so I think if we can apply that, and I'm okay. So I don't know how many people have clicked off the video yet. Once my wife watches this, I will undoubtedly be murdered. So if I am not alive tomorrow, you know who the primary suspect should be. Okay, so let's take this in a broader or more real context here. This is one of those passages that is fun to joke with, and to say like, hey, look, Abraham's wife called him Lord, so come on. But that doesn't usually happen, because look at the next verse after that one. It says in verse 8, verse 7, it says, "Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them, your spouse, according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered." So that one verse really puts this whole passage into context. And the dwelling with your wife according to knowledge part, that means not asking your wife to call you Lord. That's dwelling with your wife according to knowledge, saying like, you know what, I'm going to be smart enough about this not to be asking my wife to do things that would cause her to want to kill me. Okay, so the real truth of this passage is, God expects the wives to show honor and respect to their husbands and to follow the husband. Now, that is something I think that is kind of a conflicting biblical truth today. That's something that a lot of people don't like to agree with, that our world especially teaches the women to usurp the authority of the man, and this isn't to say that women are lesser than men at all. It's just that God's model that he set up was he created the man to be the leader in the home, and he wants man to be the spiritual leader. He wants man to make those important decisions. And again, it's not some sort of outdated sexist thing. It's just that's how God had set it up at one point in time, and that's how God still expects it to play out. And so when it says, "Likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands," it's just saying, just honor your husband and follow him. And then it even addresses, what if he's not a spiritual man? What if he's not saved? And it says in verse, if any of you obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. Basically saying, like, as they see your godly example and your godly attitude towards your husband who might be lost or unspiritual will be converted and will be changed by your good spirit. But then he addresses the husbands as well. He says, "Likewise, husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife." He's saying it's got to be a mutual respect. You have to care for each other. Yes, I understand this is going to be a difficult dynamic, and that God says there has to be a leader. In everything, there's got to be a leader. Otherwise, there's going to be conflict, and you're going to constantly be butting heads. So he says the husband's supposed to be the leader. And even if he's not doing right, wives, you need to be the bigger person here and show him honor, and your good example might convert him, might change him. And husbands, you need to show honor to your wife and dwell with her according to knowledge, understanding who she is and respecting her as a person. Because let's be honest, women are a tiny bit more complicated than men. So men need to do a little extra work, a little extra investigation, and learn what makes my wife happy and how can I properly take care of her. And then at the very end of that verse, he says that your prayers be not hindered. Basically saying, like, if you want to have a good relationship with God, and if you want to make sure that you're progressing spiritually and you're blessed, you need to make sure that you're treating your spouse right. And so again, I get it, it's not necessarily for everybody, but young people, please take this truth into account. When you get married someday, you're going to have to respect your spouse. You're going to have to love them, and not be selfish about it. And you're going to have to make sure that you're following the biblical patterns and examples set before us. So hope that was a blessing to you. I hope it wasn't upsetting. I don't hope it didn't ruffle anyone's feathers too much. And Heather, if you could just call me Lord today, that would be fantastic.